Glenn and Lou, you're looking at Lincoln Boulevard here, LAPD Pacific Division in pursuit of this vehicle wanted for an assault with a deadly weapon on a city worker who was inside of a black and white patrol car. We're not sure the details on exactly what happened to that worker, but here's the pursuit right now. Slow speed, a relatively slow speed here, coming up to an intersection. This is going to be Lincoln and Fiji Way, and the vehicle's going to go continuing westbound or northbound here on Lincoln, and LAPD is just right now following the vehicle. They haven't tried to do a pit maneuver or anything like that. They're hoping the vehicle will just stop, but just about a minute ago, it was doing circles in an intersection at on Lincoln, back about 2 miles back. But again, here's the pursuit. Let me zoom in and see if we can get a look at the driver. They are talking about bringing in a spike strip to stop this pursuit, but we won't give away that location at this point. The driver there looks like, so far, no one in the back seat. Hard to say if there's anyone in that passenger seat, but the driver here driving pretty casually down Lincoln.
Just to get the right directions, he's heading, I believe, in a northbound direction, correct?
Yes, it would be, I would say, northbound on Lincoln here and coming up to the Marina Del Rey Expressway. When he has the opportunity to jump on there, but it looks like he's going to bypass that.
And Gil, let's clarify and back up a little bit. You said that you heard assault with a deadly weapon on a city worker. Did this person jump in this car? Is this a vehicle they were already driving, or do we have those details?
We're waiting on word for any of that information from the LAPD right now. All we're hearing right now on the scanner is that it was an assault with a deadly weapon on that city worker. The unknown thing is why that city worker was in a black and white. It's possible it might be a volunteer officer that drives in a black and white vehicle, but is not an official officer. It's unclear at this point exactly what that city worker was doing with that black and white. And we don't know if the vehicle was used as a weapon or if the person actually physically assaulted that city worker. It's unclear at this point.
Okay, he right now Lincoln Boulevard and Washington Boulevard, and it's, well, he's kind of wiggling around there. We understand, Gil, just before we came to you, he was actually doing some donuts.
Yeah, I heard on the scanner just before we went live that he was doing donuts in an intersection on Lincoln, and then just started going north again on Lincoln Boulevard. So a little bit of erratic driving, but so far since we've been over it, it really hasn't been doing much of anything other than going about 35 miles an hour. And we do know that LAPD is planning on a spike strip up ahead.
It is nice to see the slow speeds instead of the sometimes erratic, fast driving that we see during these pursuits. At least they possibly will be able to do a spike strip. But a lot of times, Gil, and you may be able to confirm this, he's going so slowly, he could probably see that spike strip.
Absolutely, and that's a good point, Lou. As I come out to a wider shot, you see it's 2 lanes each direction, so the chances are them getting a spike strip in front of it might be a difficult task, especially if the driver decides to go wrong direction on the road, and he'll have that opportunity to do so. So they're going to try to do it strategically, place that spike strip at some point, and maybe even multiple spike strips set up ahead. So we'll see what the LAPD decides to do. Here we go. Here's a move. The guy's going to make a U-turn.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's going to do circles like he was doing before. He decides to do that with traffic there stopped.
So interesting.
And now he's going to move on after a couple of rotations there.
That was pretty bizarre.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
But he is not being, he's being odd, but not aggressive.
So far, no. So far, not aggressive. Here he goes out of the turn pocket for a left turn. He's going to go continue northbound on Lincoln. Well, at this point, 30 miles an hour. He's got the city bus there coming through. And let me come out wider so we can see what's ahead of him. He's got another minor intersection there. And even wider, pretty light traffic right now. And we're hearing now that the car comes back as stolen. So it's a stolen vehicle as well.
All right, if you're just joining us, the LAPD in pursuit of this black car, which we just now learned is stolen. Really not driving real crazy, except for the fact that twice now he has done donuts in the middle of the road, and right now he's on Lincoln Boulevard, kind of in the Venice area. We saw him driving through the Marina del Rey area, and heading northbound towards Santa Monica. And we do know that the 10 freeway is up ahead, so if he wants to hop on a freeway, that's going to be an option for him coming up in a few more miles.
And Gil, you're confirming that it's just the driver?
Lou, we haven't really had a chance to look into the passenger side. I believe it's just the driver. He has that sunroof open. I don't know if you can see any movement over there. Now he's waving at us. But it looks like he's the solo occupant in the vehicle.
Yeah. Made some kind of hand gesture.
Yeah, driving a little faster now with the traffic wide open northbound on Lincoln Boulevard. And we said sort of in the Venice area, heading towards Santa Monica. And again, there is a freeway option up ahead, which is going to be the 10 freeway. Hopefully he's not able to get on there, as you see the black and white unit from the LAPD in pursuit. And again, other than almost driving normal, you really wouldn't know this was a pursuit unless we were telling you that, except for the fact he's done some donuts in the middle of the road, not once but twice now.
And it's interesting, Gil, when we cover these pursuits, just the body language of this particular driver, making a waving gesture at the helicopters and the cameras, but now just casually having his arm out the window, sort of a cat and mouse type of behavior here.
Absolutely, looking pretty casual there, comfortable with those donuts. That's very odd, but yeah, certainly not driving at high speeds or anything like that. So he has a very laid-back approach to this in a stolen vehicle after assaulting a city worker. That's not, those are serious crimes. So we'll see what the LAPD decides to do. I'm hearing, though, that they are pit qualified. They could do a pit maneuver when they feel it's a good opportunity to do so. So we'll see if that happens. But here he goes, doing a little swerving now, and he might go into, well, he's going to go into, no, I was going to say he's going to go into that driveway, but.
Okay.
And we're hearing again that LAPD confirming on the scanner anyways that this suspect actually did assault a city worker who was in a black and white. So we'll try to get the details of exactly what happened there and how that assault happened. But also, he's in a stolen car. So two major offenses there that will send this guy to jail for sure. But now we're seeing, let me see what's going on with the LAPD. They've dropped back quite a distance here, giving him a lot of space to think about what's going on. They pulled back, they dropped.
And now, it looks like he's realized that LAPD is not really interested right now, and so he's going to slow down.
It's almost as if he's slowing down for them to catch up with him.
Yeah.
Coming up to the intersection here, we got an LAPD blocking the way. They have a spike strip there. We'll see if they deploy it. You can see them on the bottom left.
Okay.
And they're just waiting. There goes one. And he's going to move through the intersection. Here comes the officer running out.
This is a little dangerous move for the officer, no? Like, oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Perfect.
That was perfect.
Spike strip. But you're right, Lou. Very dangerous for that officer to run out there and throw it like that.
Yeah, just because he could have a weapon.
A weapon, or he could have driven right at that officer. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But now it looked like it hit all four tires. We'll see how quickly those tires go down. And we'll zoom in here to take kind of a look at those. The driver doesn't seem to care a whole lot. He just drove right through him and is continuing on.
You know, sometimes maybe they didn't realize what it was, or maybe didn't see it. And this isn't going to help him, the tires, much doing the donuts.
If there is damage to the tires, I mean, there's a good chance the spike strip may have not. Well, now he's turning around and going the opposite way. Does it look like there's any damage to the tires, or the air's coming out of them, Gil?
So far, no. It looks like the passenger side anyways. You know, it could always be that he has run flat tires on here, so That's also a possibility. It looks like there's nobody in that front passenger seat as well. So we'll see here. We'll give it another minute or so to see if those tires deflate or not.
It looks like an older model vehicle, which may not have those run flats, or is that what it's called, run flat?
Yeah, the run flat tires. Yeah, that could be. It also could be that maybe the spike strip did not deploy properly. We'll see, though. We'll give it a minute here and see if those tires start to go down.
Okay, we're in Santa Monica now. How close to the 10 freeway is he right now?
He's approaching in about, I would say, a mile, maybe a little less.
It's not going to do him much good if that spike strip does affect the tires for him to get on the freeway, especially at higher speeds. Could be super dangerous. Again, though, he has been driving very slowly for the most part, except you can see some of these donuts that he's been making earlier on the right-hand side of your screen. And even while we've been on, he's done it at a minimum of 3 times.
He's done it 3 times, and he did it 1 time before we came on that we know of. And again, we're told this is a stolen vehicle. He committed an assault on a city worker. We don't know exactly the details of it. It may be as simple as him using the vehicle to hit the black and white unit where the city employee was involved. We're not sure if that was a police officer, but this slow speed pursuit continues on Lincoln Boulevard. We picked it up in Marina del Rey, went through Venice, and is now in Santa Monica. And as Gil told us, less than a mile from the 10 freeway, so there's a possibility he may be hopping on that, or he may just continue northbound on Lincoln Boulevard.
Gil, what's ahead for him here?
Well, he's right now coming up to the freeway, and we'll see if he decides to jump on it. I can tell you, though, now that the LAPD is saying it is not a stolen vehicle. They thought it was at first. Now they're saying it is not a stolen vehicle. So it's just the assault with a deadly weapon and on that city worker. And we'll see what happens here as the driver gets further down Lincoln here as he's going to be setting up for a right-hand turn here. The LAPD units have dropped back, so they're basically in surveillance mode, and they were talking about a secondary spike strip at some point, but now he's on Colorado, and now we'll see if they try to set up their limited lanes here. Of course, he's got the metro line there going through the street, so we'll see if they try to set it up on this street if he stays on it.
You know, not that he pulled into that parking structure, but we have seen before these live pursuits where the vehicle pulls into a parking structure, parks the car, and merges with just the public and gets away.
Absolutely, and that's definitely a possibility here. We'll see what happens. He's stuck behind that RV there, and we'll see. Let me come out to a wide shot and look for the LAPD units. Not really in this screen here. Hey, David, do you see the LAPD units there? Okay. About 1/8 of a mile back, my pilot, David Viscovich, is telling me, are the units. So we'll see what they decide to do. But again, the driver very casual, not trying to go around, not trying to use the tracks there to get around. But again, the pressure from the units behind is diminished.
And Gil, on the right-hand side of your screen, we're showing the spike strip where the officer jumped out into the middle of that intersection and through the spike strip. And the driver did drive completely well.
I think he may have straddled it. I'm not so sure that there were any damage to the tires.
Really?
From that.
Okay.
Sort of looks like a straddle, but maybe one of the tires got hit. We're showing it.
Let me zoom in and okay.
The front left tire like would be the best option that would have gotten hit.
Front left. Okay, that's the front left there. And does it look flat to you guys? It's a little hard for me to tell on my monitor. Okay.
Really.
So we might have another opportunity here for another spike strip. We'll see what happens. But this is a really good spot for that to happen. And I'll come out to a wider shot to see if that happens here in the next few moments. But so the LAPD airship is talking about the motorhome, talking about the direction of travel here, trying to get units to set up for another spike strip. We'll see if that happens here. But in the meantime, the driver's content with just staying. Here we go. Look at this. Okay.
Oh.
What do you think? Did he hit it?
I mean, he did run over it, but it wasn't.
He wasn't able to get it completely. The officer's not able to get it unfurled completely. So
Yeah.
yeah, it may have caught one of the tires. Just kind of hard to tell.
I don't
Right.
think we've ever seen officers get so close to someone in pursuit where they just are
Yeah.
like literally 6 or 10 feet away from the driver. But
Yeah.
good effort on their part to be able to maneuver that and be able to at least throw it out there. Hopefully, like one of the tires was able to run over it.
And again, as we say, always a dangerous maneuver when you literally walk up to the car to do that.
Yeah.
Because again, you don't know if he has a weapon or not. He continues eastbound, I believe, on Colorado Boulevard.
That's correct. I am hearing now that the officer that did deploy that spike strip said that they got a good hit on the left rear tire. So
Great.
it sounds like they were good. Here he goes
yeah.
into the donuts.
Do some more donuts.
Maybe a U-turn.
Well, that's it. Keep doing that because then you're not going anywhere and you're also doing more damage to that tire.
So you're saying
Absolutely.
back driver's side.
That's correct. Yes,
Okay.
they're saying back driver's side, and it did look like it was going down just before he did that turn. And they might do it again. Here he goes. Yep. Front tire for sure.
Oh yeah, he definitely got hit then.
And you're right, Lou. You know, very bold of the LAPD officers. They just jump right out there, right next to the car. Fortunately, the driver not trying to hit them. That's good news. But so far now, it looks like the two positive hits there on the spike strip just in the last minute or so.
You say the LAPD, who started this pursuit, now that we're in Santa Monica, which is a different jurisdiction, is the Santa Monica PD involved in this at all?
I don't see them involved yet. I'm sure they're aware of what's going on. Here we go. He's stopping here. There's got some workers here. They're a little confused, like, what's going on? Is this the guy? He's going to get out of the vehicle
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
slowly. It looks like he might just be giving up. You see the tires are flat, hands are up, and this should be it. 14th in Colorado is where it's ended up here. And he's going to do what the officers are telling him to do. That's good news.
And smart for those two workers who were standing there. They got out of the way. A lot of times,
Yes.
you know, they're stepping back here because you don't want to get in the way of what's happening with the arrest. And you just simply never know if these drivers are armed.
Well, whenever this
Absolutely.
happens, this is exactly the way you want to see it end, with the suspect spread-eagled and face down on the cement or the asphalt.
And they're going to clear the vehicle here. Yes, check the trunk as protocol is, and then they're going to move in and put him into custody. So yeah, it looks like at this point, the man will be in custody here. No one else in the vehicle. And very strange behavior in this pursuit.
Yeah, very strange, especially with the donuts.
By the way,
Yes.
the way he was dressed, if he had pulled into a garage, I think he'd have a hard time blending in with everybody walking down
Yeah.
the sidewalk.
Yeah.
He's kind of a big guy
That's right.
wearing a white tank top. He wouldn't have blended in very well.
Yeah, well,
No.
good thing is, Gil, he did drive slowly. Nobody, no innocent drivers were injured, and looks like he is going to be taken into custody now, and that car is cleared. All right, good job, LAPD.